Only in, I think, 17th century, 1600 plus, the German company called Merck came out with extraction of a painkiller called morphine from opium.
Okay.
Still today, he is one of the richest company in the world. They made the biggest money. They are exposed to internet. Once you are exposed to internet, you are exposed to pornos. Then partying becomes a culture these days with children after the age of 12, 13, where they succumb to some minor form of alcohol. So there are a number of reasons for all this. Not all children are going to be whatever you call it as hallucinating or paranoia and all that. All the big words. I don't think so. But then the present day society is so funny.
The most common signs to observe in your teenagers, like paranoia, hallucination, continuous cheating or lying, violent behavior. All these behaviors are common in a teenager is what we thought all these days. But what are the mental conditions associated with it, and what is the line that we draw where we say this is normal and this is abnormal? Let's get into the show with the star Dr. CKN, a psychologist, molecular scientist and the innovator of low glycemic diabetic friendly sugar. Welcome to Dr. C.K.Nandagopalan's YouTube channel. I'm your host Susan. Welcome, doctor.
Welcome to you, Susan.
Doctor, there are a lot of signs that the teenagers show, especially during their teenage years. They sometimes behave very violently. They are very irritated. They cheat. They lie. They do these kind of stuff, and then hallucination and paranoia. All these stuff are observed in teenagers. Most of them, because of the environment, the food that we have now. But where do we draw the line, doctor? What is normal and what is abnormal, and what are the red flags that are to be observed?
I don't think so. All the teenagers behave like that.
Not all, but now we can see there are a lot of people who, if you ask the parents, they will tell you that, the teenagers, they throw tantrums very easily.
See, this is basically dependent, the whole concept what you are talking about is basis for which comes on the parental condition.
Okay.
It is not the fault of the teenager. Of course, when you cross your 12, 13 years, there are a lot of changes biologically happens. So these biological changes gives you a lot of different types of mental framework of your thinking lines. You have a large future ahead, and today the demand for electronics and pocket money is very high because you are too much to freak around, whatever you call it. So fortunately, once upon a time, the availability of the drugs were not there much. There are only few number of things. Only in, I think, 17th century, 1600 plus, the German company called Merck came out with extraction of a painkiller called morphine from opium.
Okay.
Still today, he is one of the richest company in the world. They made the biggest money. Now the availability of alcohol, drugs and all is very high, and the urban society, even the rural society has almost become the urban society. Things are available for everyone. So it depends on the parental condition here. Okay. Both the parents are working. They have no direct monitoring on the children. So adolescence, when you come, there are a lot of psychological weakness sets in. So who's going to guide these people? Whether the parents are equipped enough to educate them the principles of those physiological changes. It's a big question mark. I don't think so most of the parents are capable of doing that.
But at least they can observe, doctor. They can observe their kids, and then, even though they're working, it's their kids. So obviously they will observe if there is any behavioral changes, it can, if there is a red flag, they can be aware of it. That is the reason why we put this question here.
Yeah, it is basically because of the peer group in which these children move around. So you stop them, they get angry. You stop their video gamings, they get angry. You cannot make them stay away from screens. They are exposed to internet. Once you are exposed to internet, you are exposed to pornos. Then partying becomes a culture these days with children after the age of 12, 13, where they succumb to some minor form of alcohol. Many of them get habituated to smoking and drugs, which they hide and do initially, then they will do it openly. So the requirement for some amount of money on a daily basis. I see children in the last 10, 12 years, they bring 500 rupees every day to the school. Can you believe it?
Oh my God. Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah, so one of my friends, I don't want to name the lady, she used to give her son who went to college when he finished his plus 2 and he was waiting for some college admission with entrance and all that, he used to go for play tennis and all that. She used to give him a pocket money of 1,500 bucks a day.
Wow.
1,500 INR. That's huge money. And the boy used to say that's not enough for him. So there are a number of reasons for all this. Not all children are going to be whatever you call it as hallucinating or paranoia and all that. All the big words. I don't think so. But then the present day society is so funny. It is going to drive everybody crazy the way in which things are going.
Yeah.
So people are, if suppose some mobile phone is given to you more than a year, it has become very outdated. All his friends are going to have latest phones in his hand, and this guy is going to compare himself with them, and he is going to come and create a lot of pressure, put a lot of pressure on the parents and say, come on, I need this model, that model. That's going to be very, very costly. But the parents have no other choice other than to, buy and give it to him, all that kind of thing. But the whole point is that where will you mark a line, where will you draw a line, where will you lift the red flag and all that? They are all too bigger dialogues. So if the adolescent boy or a girl is going to slip from the track and go against the norms of what your expectations his or her behavior should be, you can't do anything. It's too difficult for you, because after one point of time they are not going to listen to you unless and until you have brought up the child in a cordial atmosphere, which normally parents do not understand. Parents push their children for more and more might that the children should bring in, studying well and getting distinctions and marks. This mark-oriented education is all crazy, and you have to mold a child today to fight this world for economic stability. So these parents, they compare their children with the other children a lot. So there are a lot of messes going on, and there is no solution for all these things, because you cannot take this as an uniform stuff. Each family differs from another, and each parent differ from another, and each gene differ from another. So it can be only seen as a personalized part of that particular parent and that particular child, and how best that particular parent is going to handle when the things are going to go out of the track with that adolescent boy or a girl. That's going to be a big question mark. Thank you.
We have come to the end of this episode. We will continue more on psychological problems that we face in our daily life. Till then, it's your host Susan signing off. Please like, subscribe, and share to the loved ones. Love you all.